Imagine a city with walls so enormous that chariots could race across their tops. A city filled with golden temples, magnificent palaces, and treasures beyond imagination. It was home to one of history's greatest kings and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon. But what really happened to this incredible city? Why did it disappear? And could some of its greatest secrets still be buried beneath the sands of Iraq? Today, we uncover the incredible mystery of Babylon.
More than 4,000 years ago, between the mighty Tigris and Euphrates rivers, a remarkable civilization began to rise. This fertile region became known as Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. Here, people learned to farm, build cities, create writing, and establish some of the world's earliest governments. Among these growing settlements stood a small city called Babylon. At first, Babylon was nothing more than a modest town surrounded by fertile fields and flowing canals. Its people depended on the Euphrates River for water, farming, and trade. The river carried life into the city, allowing crops to flourish even under the hot Mesopotamian sun. Babylon's location made it one of the most important trading centers in the ancient world. Merchants arrived from distant kingdoms, carrying precious stones, fine textiles, copper, timber, spices, and exotic goods. Every caravan brought new wealth.
Every traveler carried stories from faraway lands. As trade expanded, Babylon became richer and more powerful. Its streets filled with craftsmen, merchants, priests, and scholars. Huge mud brick walls surrounded the growing city, protecting its people from enemies. Towering temples rose toward the sky. At the center of Babylon stood the magnificent temple dedicated to Marduk, the city's chief god. The Babylonians believed Marduk protected their kingdom and guided its rulers. Each year, grand religious festivals brought thousands of people together. Music echoed through the streets. Priests offered prayers inside the temples. Markets overflowed with food, colorful fabrics, jewelry, and handmade pottery. Babylon was becoming more than just another city. It was becoming the heart of a growing civilization. But despite its growing wealth, Babylon still lacked one thing: a ruler powerful enough to unite the surrounding kingdoms into a single empire. That leader would soon arrive, and his name would change history forever. Around 1792 BC, a young ruler named Hammurabi became the king of Babylon. At that time, Babylon was still only one of many small kingdoms in Mesopotamia. Powerful rivals surrounded the city. Many believed Babylon would never become a great empire. But they underestimated one man. Hammurabi was not only a skilled warrior, he was also a brilliant strategist and an intelligent leader. Instead of attacking every enemy at once, he formed alliances with nearby kingdoms. One by one, he defeated his rivals. With every victory, Babylon grew larger and stronger. Within a few decades, Hammurabi united much of Mesopotamia under one empire. For the first time in history, Babylon became the most powerful city in the region. But Hammurabi understood that conquering land was only the beginning. A great empire needed justice, it needed order, and above all, it needed laws that everyone could understand. So he created one of the most famous legal systems in human history, the Code of Hammurabi. Yet no structure captured the world's imagination more than the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon. According to ancient writers, the gardens were built for Queen Amytis of Media, who missed the green mountains and forests of her homeland. To comfort her, Nebuchadnezzar supposedly ordered the construction of a giant garden rising high above the city. Terraces overflowed with trees, colorful flowers, climbing vines, waterfalls, and rare plants from across the empire. Some accounts even described water being lifted from the Euphrates River by an ingenious system of pumps and wheels, allowing the gardens to remain green in the middle of the hot Mesopotamian desert. It sounded impossible. A mountain of plants growing in the sky. A paradise built by human hands.
Because of its incredible beauty, the Hanging Gardens were later listed as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
But here is where the mystery begins. Despite centuries of archaeological excavations, no one has ever found undeniable evidence that the Hanging Gardens actually existed in Babylon. Some historians believe the gardens were destroyed long ago by earthquakes and floods. Others think ancient writers exaggerated the story. And some researchers even suggest the famous gardens may have been located in the Assyrian city of Nineveh, not Babylon at all. More than 2,000 years later, the truth remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Was the Hanging Garden a real masterpiece of engineering, or simply the world's greatest legend? The answer may still be hidden beneath the ancient soil of Mesopotamia. For decades, Babylon stood as the richest and most magnificent city in the world. Its towering walls, glittering temples, and bustling markets seemed impossible to conquer. Many believed the city could never fall. But every great empire eventually faces its greatest test. By the middle of the 6th century BC, a new power had emerged in the east. It was the mighty Persian Empire, led by the brilliant king Cyrus the Great. One by one, powerful kingdoms fell before his armies. Soon, Babylon became his next target. Inside the city, however, people remained confident. The enormous walls of Babylon appeared unbeatable. The Euphrates River flowed through the city, providing fresh water, while huge storehouses held enough food to survive a siege for many years. The Babylonians believed they were completely safe. Then came one of history's most mysterious nights. According to ancient accounts, Prince Belshazzar held a magnificent royal banquet inside the palace. Hundreds of nobles gathered to celebrate with music, dancing, and expensive treasures. During the feast, Belshazzar ordered sacred golden vessels, taken years earlier from the Temple of Jerusalem, to be used for drinking wine. It was a decision that many believed showed great disrespect. Then, something terrifying happened. A mysterious hand suddenly appeared and began writing strange words on the palace wall. The music stopped. The laughter disappeared. Silence filled the great hall. No one could understand the message. The king's face turned pale with fear. He immediately summoned the wisest scholars, priests, and astrologers in Babylon. Yet none of them could explain the mysterious writing. Finally, an elderly Hebrew prophet named Daniel was brought before the king. After carefully reading the words, Daniel delivered a chilling message. He declared that Babylon had become proud and arrogant. Its rulers had dishonored God. And that very night, the kingdom would come to an end. Outside the city, Cyrus the Great had already begun one of the most brilliant military operations in ancient history. Instead of attacking Babylon's mighty walls, Persian engineers secretly diverted part of the Euphrates River. As the water level dropped, Persian soldiers quietly marched along the riverbed beneath the city's defenses. While celebrations continued inside the palace, the Persian army entered Babylon almost unnoticed. By morning, the greatest city in the ancient world had fallen. Without a massive battle, without destroying its famous walls, Babylon became part of the Persian Empire. The mysterious words written upon the palace wall became one of history's most famous warnings. Even today, the phrase, "the writing is on the wall," is used to describe an event that clearly signals an unavoidable ending. But Babylon's greatest mysteries were far from over. Even after its fall, its secrets refused to disappear.
For nearly 2,000 years, Babylon lay silent beneath the desert. Wind covered its streets with sand. Its magnificent palaces crumbled into dust. The mighty walls that had once amazed the ancient world slowly disappeared beneath the earth. Many people believed Babylon was gone forever. Some even thought it existed only in legends and ancient books. Then, in the 19th century, archaeologists began searching for the lost city. After years of exploration, they made an extraordinary discovery. Hidden beneath the sands of modern-day Iraq were the ruins of ancient Babylon. massive foundations, broken temples, fragments of towering walls, clay tablets covered with cuneiform writing. Every discovery proved that Babylon had once been one of the greatest cities in human history. One of the most remarkable finds was the magnificent Ishtar Gate. Although much of the original structure had collapsed, thousands of brilliant blue glazed bricks were carefully excavated. Today, a reconstructed version of the Ishtar Gate stands in a museum, giving visitors a glimpse of Babylon's former glory.
Archaeologists also uncovered royal palaces, ceremonial roads, temples dedicated to Marduk, and thousands of clay tablets. These ancient records reveal details about Babylonian laws, trade, astronomy, mathematics, and everyday life. The Babylonians were among the greatest astronomers of the ancient world. They carefully observed the stars and planets. They developed accurate calendars. They predicted eclipses and recorded the movements of the heavens with astonishing precision. Many of their discoveries later influenced Greek, Roman, and Islamic scholars. Yet, despite more than a century of excavations, Babylon continues to guard many of its secrets. The greatest mystery remains the Hanging Gardens. No archaeologist has discovered undeniable evidence proving exactly where they stood. Some researchers believe the gardens were destroyed by floods or earthquakes. Others argue they may never have existed in Babylon at all. Even today, ground-penetrating radar, satellite imaging, and modern archaeological technology continue searching beneath the ancient ruins. Every excavation uncovers new clues, but each discovery also raises new questions. History has revealed much about Babylon, yet some of its greatest mysteries remain hidden beneath the desert, waiting for the next remarkable discovery. Nearly 1,200 years after Babylon was founded, a new king rose to power who would make the city the greatest wonder of the ancient world. His name was Nebuchadnezzar II. He ruled Babylon from 605 BC to 562 BC, and under his leadership, the city reached the peak of its glory. Nebuchadnezzar was not only a brilliant military commander, but also one of history's greatest builders. After defeating powerful enemies, he returned home with immense wealth. Instead of spending it on luxury alone, he transformed Babylon into the most magnificent city on earth. Massive walls surrounded the city. Ancient historians claimed these walls were so wide that several horse-drawn chariots could race side by side across the top. Although modern archaeologists debate those exact measurements, there is no doubt that Babylon's defenses were among the strongest of the ancient world. One of the city's greatest masterpieces was the magnificent Ishtar Gate. Covered in brilliant blue glazed bricks, the gate was decorated with golden images of lions, dragons, and powerful bulls. Every visitor entering Babylon passed beneath this breathtaking monument,